Hmm. You know, Rotten Tomatoes, you amaze me sometimes. I mean, you give the Ron Howard, Jim Carrey Grinch 49% on critic score, 58% on the audience score. But gee, I want to know what about our good old friend, the Cat in the Hat, played by Mike Myers. Gee. I hope you're ready for this, folks, because I sure is. 10% on the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and 58% on the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, anyways, you know what today's topic is: the Cat in the Hat. Now, yes, I've watched the Cat in the Hat. Unfortunately, I really do mean that, unfortunately. But boy, oh howdy, know what I did when I saw Mike Myers' Cat in the Hat? Well, I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it on TV. That was the greatest choice I've ever made in my entire existence. Because boy, this looked like it was going to be bad. Just looking at Mike Myers. And I know a lot of you have asked me, or one of you have left a comment on my Jim Carrey Grinch Rant review. I don't care what you say. I don't care what Rotten Butt Tomatoes says. This is still a good movie. I still enjoy it. Is it a guilty pleasure? Yes. Is it a fun movie? Yes. Is it still funny? Hell yes. But unfortunately, one thing I did forget to mention is good old Jim Carrey in the makeup chair. Jim Carrey said being the Grinch makeup was hellish for him. And I mean hellish. If you want Jim Carrey to be doing faces like these, yeah, doing that in makeup might be difficult. But like some people have said, even some people who hated this movie have also said, Jim Carrey, well, basically they had to hire a FBI agent to teach Jim Carrey torture, what it's like to be tortured, and how he can become one with suit. So when he gets, you know, in the makeup, he's able to, you know, he made that phrase, you can hit him with a bat and be like, hey, how y'all doing? Even though, when I see Mike Myers in the butt being God outfit, good God. Even looking at that as at the age of a teenager, I'm like, Well, let me put it more bluntly. Carrey is in the Grinch makeup is more expressive, funny, and zany still. Believe it or not, it's literally not as good as Carrey's performance. And Cat in the Hat, the movie, it sucks. It sucks dick cheese. It sucks so bad. You know what? I will get to the best part at the last part of the video. But let me just tell you, Cat in the Hat is so bad, I don't even think they knew what they were doing. First off, you're taking a story about two kids who just sit in the middle of a rainy day, not having nothing to do. In comes the Cat in the Hat in, you know, their house. Causes mayhem and chaos. Of course, the original book and one of the, I believe, Chuck Jones cartoons that, you know, resembled the book, basically. Well, resembled certain parts of the book. The cartoon resembles certain parts of the book, But in the cartoon version, the cat just up and leaves, and leaves the two kids to, clean up after themselves. But then later comes back. The book is a little bit similar to the book, a little bit. When they feel like now in the book, I actually have read because, believe it or not, my mom's a big Dr. Seuss fan. So, Mom, you're watching this. I got this from you. In the book, they show that the kids have had enough of the Cat in the Hat, causing terror, causing all these chaos in their house, messing the house up. Of course, they kick him out. That's exactly what they did in the movie, is kick him out and be like, yeah. But even though, another thing I should probably mention is two specimens I should mention, or specimens creatures I should mention. That is Thing 1 and Thing 2. Two of the most satanic damn things I've ever seen in my entire life! My God! Now, it's bad enough that in the Grinch version, which I don't really care that much, to be honest, how they made the Who's look like the Who's. Well, they look like hungry hippos, but still, they look like Who's, like in the original books. Thing 1 and Thing 2, it's even worse. They are not just even more scary, they're even 10 times scary than the Who's in the Jim Carrey Grinch. 10 times scary in the Jim Carrey Grinch version. Even more scary than Jim Carrey's Grinch. But believe it or not, let me just mention another thing. Some of the funny parts. Parts that I did laugh at. Of course, I'm going to have to go with my favorite one I'm going to have to mention. That is when they're trying to get the dog back. He's like, come to die. Cat, you scared him away. Dirty hoe. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean it. And of course, even Billy would be finding this funny. And of course, it technically is. And that is the cat cutting his tail and screaming, cat, your tail? Oh, that. Well, apparently what I can say about that is, son of a... Okay, those parts were funny. But my only issue is Mike Myers. Mike Myers, I'm gonna be honest with you, I would like his character, but he doesn't sell it to me. I'm sorry, he doesn't sell it to me. He doesn't sell it to me like Jim Carrey did. And he doesn't sell it to me how I think I expect Jim Carrey to sell it, basically. But I'm just going to let you know, Carrey is funny. Mike Myers, some of the films that he did, like Austin Powers, Wayne's World, Shrek, and So I Married a Axe Murderer. Those are films that he really did a great job being funny at. Especially with Shrek, seeing how he wasn't the first choice for Shrek. It was the late Chris Farley. Which I want to know if how Shrek would have worked if Chris Farley was still alive today. If you have seen the video of Chris Farley voicing Shrek, you know, heck, it's Chris Farley. He does a great job. But one thing I can tell you, Mike Myers, there's some films that he did good during those times, and there were some films that you really want to say, Mike, man, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? And of course, Cat in the Hat and Love Guru is one of them. But really, all I can tell you is Mike Myers is the worst thing in this movie. He is funny, but not funny enough. We are talking about the man in Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, who actually drunk diarrhea feces and thought it was coffee. Tell me you don't find that scene kind of disturbing now. Now, before I thought it was just like meant to be funny, but now finding out it's kind of disturbing now. Ooh, this coffee tastes like shit. It is shit. He's like, oh, I guess it's not just me. Mike Myers in this role, I respect they didn't want to get Jim Carrey, but even if Jim Carrey read the script for this, he's like, no, I'm not doing this. But yeah, Mike Myers, you don't really see much of him today, but you do think of him, you do wonder if he can make a good comeback in the future, right? So either way, however you say it, are they still working on making an Austin Powers 4? They are? But either way, how bad was this movie? Well, even though we have Alec Baldwin, who plays the neighbor who's trying to hit on their mom, even though the kids say dumb shit like, I wish I had a better mom. See, that's the thing. You want to like these kids, right? So pretty much, Comrade, the other kid, is a troublemaker. His sister Sally, played by Dakota Fanning, is a control freak. And of course, you want them to be, good characters, right? Now here's the thing about Cindy Lou in The Grinch. She's the only character that's likable. Out of all the Who's, all the rest of the Who's, they're a bunch of assholes. The Grinch may be an asshole, but at least he's an asshole who saved Cindy Lou that one scene. The kids in The Cat in the Hat, I mean, you want to like them, right? But no, you just feel like, no, they're awful kids. They're really awful kids. They do awful things. They do things they're not supposed to be doing. They get the house wrecked. But yeah, I know you're saying, but like I said earlier, the cat comes back and fixes everything, and everything gets fixed. But even though you don't feel the likability like how you felt for Cindy Lou in The Grinch. In the end, Baldwin gets dumped by being horribly humiliated. But even though Alec Baldwin gets humiliated, he gets made an ass out of himself, and pretty much, what else can I really say, but...
Like, well, you've made a perfect ass of yourself tonight.
We all have tough times. But even though, all I'm just trying to say is, this film is so bad, wonder why you haven't seen that much, live-action Dr. Seuss films in quite a long time. Because the only two ones we got were The Grinch and The Cat in the Hat. Those two films. But then you kept saying to yourself, so wait, what about other Dr. Seuss stuff? Well, those you don't know, the other Dr. Seuss stuff were all, animated films done by Illumination. Yes, the same studio that did Minions. But all I'm just telling you, this film is so bad, Dr. Seuss's late widow forbid any more live-action Dr. Seuss films. Well, the mean one doesn't count. I mean, it is a Dr. Seuss product, but it's played as a horror movie, basically. But like I said, other Dr. Seuss stuff, like Fox and Socks, Hop on Pop, Green Eggs and Ham. Am I forgetting anything else? Please leave something in the comment section. But even though What do you think those films will look like if we did them in live action? You say they would suck even worse than The Cat in the Hat? You're right. But even though, all I'm just saying is, well, this did leave me with one good horrible overacting I've seen in a long time. But it still was funny. June, if your house is just dirty as it was the last time we were there, you're fired! Yeah. But even now, maybe it's probably best we leave Dr. Seuss's work alone. Since his wife has passed on a couple of years ago. Well, literally 5 years ago. Let's just leave well enough alone. So yes, we have the main one, but that's just a spin-off of that's an adult spin-off for the Grinch for adults, basically. And since there's no other Dr. Seuss films that are in the production at this time, not even Green Eggs and Ham. Actually, no, that's good. That's a good thing. They haven't done a movie on that. Oh yeah. And let's just leave it enough alone and see whatever Illumination does. Because I know there's an animated Illumination film of the Grinch, but it's not as good as the Carrey one. It may look better, but it's not as good. But Cat in the Hat, this film, no. After watching this film, I don't blame Dr. Seuss's widow for banning any more live-action Dr. Seuss films. No, definitely no. So this will be my last video for 2023. In comes 2024. And trust me, we're gonna have a lot more fun in that year because my 15th anniversary of being on YouTube. Or making YouTube videos, basically. But either way, that ends today's video. Vertical Spy, outro.
Yo, Steve Bloom here, voice of Spike Spiegel. Remember to subscribe and get vertical.